This is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. A station that pays.
This is MC Reggie Fresh from the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. And folks, guess who's in the building? She was born from the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She's a wife and a mother of two and an Army veteran spouse. She's an international model, an actress, a teacher, a professional speaker, and a businesswoman and a heart health activist. She has been married to Staff Sergeant Kenneth Taylor since 2015, and they've been a power couple for almost 10 years now. She's a volunteer for her time in various charities, including the Veterans Leadership Program, the American Heart Association, Dress for Success, food banks, men's and women's shelters, and many more. She has received numerous awards, including Styling and Glam Magazine's Model of the Year in 2018, Inspiring Lives Magazine's Women in Philanthropy Award 2018. She has been recognized by her county twice as a position for Mrs. Allegheny County and Mrs. Pennsylvania America in 2018. Her hobbies include singing, dancing. She can play a double tenor steel pan and also loves the thriller dance. She also loves teaching our children the importance of giving back to their community. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mrs. Sindel Taylor.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your invited, so gonna get to clapping. Go pop a phone, pop it for me. Turn around and throw a plan, drop it for me. I'll rent some beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi.
Welcome to the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. Mrs. Taylor, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Anyway, today what we're going to do is, since you are still a fan, we're going to do your business and your modeling business, all of that in one. We're going to kill two birds in one stone.
I love it. I can't wait.
Okay, now, the first thing I want to ask you is, how long was you a Steeler fan?
I was born in a terrible town, and I'll die in a terrible town. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, then. Hey, you don't need to say nothing else. Okay, now, how long you been in the modeling business?
Since I was 3 years old. My dad actually was a photographer when I was growing up, and I've been pretty much modeling ever since.
All right. Now, let me ask you this. Who is your favorite football player for the Steelers right now?
So, I was going to say, well, they don't play right now. I don't know. The season is just...
Okay, well, you know, okay, I got you. But some of the similar to the players that you know from like last year, they're playing now.
Oh, I don't even know, man. I got to watch a couple games to get a good player because, you know, it's all based off of performance of who my favorite player is.
Oh, I got
who's
you.
going to show up and show out.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, what about your all time?
Favorite player over all time.
Yeah, you go all times. That's what I'm... Who you like?
I have a few, but my favorite is the bus. Jerome Bettis is probably one of my favorite players of all time. You know, I love him. I really like right now Juju Smith is on my radar for this year. We'll see how he does the rest of the year. I like how he is in the community. I like how he is so far with kids and youth, and I just hope that he stays that way. Former Steeler Troy Polamalu is another good player. Really like him. I really like what he does for, you know, his community and stuff like that. So
all right.
I really like players who have on and off the field relationships with the community. That's what kind of draws me to them.
That's great. That's great. Now, it's ironic that you said Juju and the bus because both of their moms was on my radio show.
I saw that. We're gonna have to call them and let them know I need to meet both of them again. I did have the blessing of meeting Jerome Bettis once with my daughter when she was Little Miss Pennsylvania America, and that was a really cool experience. He actually did the Bus Stop Here Foundation at my daughter's after-school program, and so they got to meet him and all kinds of cool stuff. But I have yet to actually meet Juju Smith in person.
Well, we're gonna make that happen for you. We'll make it happen for you, Miss Taylor.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk to them about everything that I got going on and ways that they can even be more involved.
That's right. That's right. Now, let me ask you about your modeling career. So, how do you feel when you are in front of a bunch of people and then you walking down the runway and all of that stuff? And how are you feeling right now? Are you nervous? What's the feeling being a model?
So you're always nervous. When you're just about to walk out, you get a little bit of nervousness going on, and I feel like being nervous makes you humble. That's actually something my dad instilled on me. You know, being nervous doesn't mean that you're necessarily afraid. Doesn't necessarily mean you're scared. It just means that you're humble. You still know that, you know, at any given moment, that can be taken away. That moment can be taken away. So enjoy every moment and just have fun. And then once you get on that runway, it's like a whole nother person. Your game face is on, so to speak. And it's a really amazing experience to be on the runway.
All right, now, who's one of your top models? I mean, like Miss America, you know, like all the pageants through the years, when you have been growing up and stuff like that, could you tell me which one of your best, you know, Miss America, or Miss USA, or whoever what's the name? You got a particular one?
I do really enjoy the Mrs. America system. That's for married women. They actually just started a new system called Miss for America. So that is for individuals who are not married.
Okay.
That can be either anyone over the 18, single, widowed, or divorced. They can have kids or not have kids. So that's really cool. So I really enjoyed that system. But of course, being from Pennsylvania, you know, I have to go with a Pennsylvania title holder. So I have to go with Doris Dalton, who was Mrs. America prior. And she's famous because she made her own cosmetic line, which is really cool because I'm in that industry of cosmetology. And so I just really adore what she did after her title and kind of taking that and making her own legacy in addition to that. So I really, really like her a lot. That's
outstanding. Now, Miss Taylor, there's a lot of models out there around the world, even in high school, being a model and want to be in the pageants and stuff like that. Could you tell me what they need to do to stay focused and how do they got to stay grounded and keep their mind right to be in a beauty pageant?
So I feel like modeling and pageants can relate a lot to each other, but I do also feel like they're very, very different at times.
Okay.
So for modeling, it's all about the hustle. You need to have the right photos and the right look for that job. So making sure that you know what you're submitting for the job application-wise, making sure you have a model comp card, making sure you have a portfolio, making sure you know your measurements. That's probably one of the biggest things on the modeling aspect that you can do, and just hustle, hustle, hustle. For every no, you're going to find a yes eventually. You know, you're going to get 100 no's before you get one yes, but that one yes could really change your life.
Wow.
As far as beauty pageants, you have the same focus as far as knowing your measurements, knowing how to walk, but it's more mental in the beauty pageant industry. You really have to be the best version of yourself. It sounds so weird, but you're not really competing with anybody else but yourself, because on any given day, if you had a different judge, a different day, it could have been a different winner. So as long as you go into the pageant knowing, I did the best I could, I worked out, I worked hard, I presented myself with the gown that I wanted, my hair the way I wanted, how I wanted to be that day, that's all you can do, and walk away knowing that you're still a winner. At the end of the day, you're still walking away with either, whether it's a local title, a state title, or if you're so lucky to win that national title, you're still walking away with who you are. So leave with that. You came in being whoever you are. Leave with that. You are that same person, and I guarantee you that once you enter a pageant, you'll be 100% knowing about who you truly are.
Right. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have to be a certain size?
No, you do not. For modeling, there are different categories. So there is runway modeling. They typically prefer over 5'8". Really, they look at people who are 5'9" and taller. For runway, they do look at certain sizes, and that's typically between 0 and 6, and that's standard U.S. size, but typically 6 is pushing it a little bit. You have plus size modeling, which is typically size 12 and up, and then you have your catalog modeling, which is kind of for everybody at any age and any size. But, I mean, those are just general ideas, and I've seen so many models that break that standard out there on the runway. And for beauty pageants, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter anything. It like I said earlier, it's about you presenting your best self. So if you're 28 on that stage and you're presenting your best self, you're going to win. If you're 52 and you're on that stage and you're presenting your best self, you're going to win. If you're 19 on that stage, you're presenting your best self, you're going to win. So it's all about the division that's appropriate for you.
Okay. All right, now, so models and who wants to be models and pageants out there, can they get in touch with you? How can they be reached to get a little type of tips or anything if they want to get in that type of world and businesses and trying to do exactly what you do? Is that possible? Can you give me some contact numbers and stuff like that?
Absolutely. They can definitely contact me. So I'm on all forms of social media. My name is Sindel, which is SANDAHL. Taylor, Taylor. It's really unique, so you're not going to find anybody else with that name on there. On all 3 social media. So you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter. They can reach out to me and contact me directly. That's fine. I would love to hear from you.
Okay, now I know you got a chance to get in another pageant or something, and you're raising money. You how can people help donate to get you what you need to, make you be more successful with this next thing you got going on?
Absolutely. So I haven't officially announced what pageant system I'm doing, but I'm going after a big boy. I'm just going to call it that. This is like the major league of pageants.
Yes, ma'am.
And I am raising money to enter into this pageant system. And if anybody does want to help, they can actually send me PayPal. And it's my email on there, which is Sindel, Sindel, PGH, stands for Pittsburgh, PGH @hotmail.com. And I use that one just because that's my model name. I go by Sindel in the model world. It's just easier to spell, easier to pronounce. So they can send that to me on PayPal, again, at Sindel, PGH @hotmail.com. Or, again, they can reach out to me on any forms of social media. We have national sponsors, corporate sponsors, $25, $1, a penny, everything helps. I use all of it, and then I give back too. So for every amount that I raise, I try to do a donation of at least 10% to my charity of choice, or if I'm collecting money, to their charity of choice. So right. I try to do stuff like that too to give back.
Okay, now see, people, all you ladies out there that want to be in this business, model, pageants and stuff like that. See, when you help people like Miss Taylor, you just never know, because guess what? You doing this going to open up windows for you, because you already got the door. She just gave you all her contacts. So it ain't no excuse when you want to do this and you hear this video and this interview with her. You need to get hot and make some phone calls and make some initiative. If you really want to be something, be successful like her, all you have to do, she just told you how to reach her. So, that's pretty good. I really appreciate that, Miss Taylor.
Oh, you're so welcome, and I'm so happy to help anybody who gives me a call. Like I said, if I can't help you directly, I'm going to point you in the right direction. I'll make sure that you get the information you need. Okay,
now let me ask you this. Now we're going to switch back to the Steelers.
Yes.
We're going to switch back to the Steelers. Now, I'm going to ask you a trivia question, and if you get it right, I have made a song called Pittsburgh Style. If you get it right, I'm going to send you an autographed CD, and, I'll make sure you get that if you get this answer right pertaining to Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm a little nervous. I don't know a lot of trivia here.
Okay, listen. This guy came out of Georgia. He was number 86, and a tomato ketchup name is named like his name. His first name is named after a tomato ketchup brand. Could you tell me who that wide receiver was?
I know who that is, and that is Heinz Ward, baby.
You got it, Miss Taylor? Now, Miss Taylor, you got any shout-outs you want to give to anybody out there?
Absolutely. I have to shout you guys out. Of course, thank you so much for letting me be on this show. I'm so appreciative.
You're welcome.
Thank you to my husband and my amazing kids as well. I mean, without them, I definitely wouldn't be here.
Okay. And what about Still a Nation?
Whoop, whoop. Let's just get those terrible towels going.
All right.
Absolutely.
And the last question I got to ask you, Miss Taylor. Mrs. Taylor, could you please tell me, can you tell me what's the baddest station in the land and the station that pays?
Absolutely. It is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
And there y'all have it, folks. She's coming to you from the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's Mrs. Sindel Taylor right here on the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
This is the MC Reggie Fresh Morning Show. A station that pays.